welcome back to Redline Magazine. Today you join us in Barcelona on the international press launch for the all-new Nissan Juke. I'm going to start by saying, first of all, if the sat-nav cuts in at any point, please forgive us. I know we don't usually have a sat-nav in any of our videos, but we are on a specific route today and I wouldn't want to miss my exit. But yeah, so we're in the all-new Nissan Juke and we've really been enjoying the car so far. Some background information on it. Since the Juke first came out about 9-10 years ago, in the EU alone, Nissan have sold 1 million units. They've sold 1 million cars, and actually 285,000 of those have been bought in the UK, which shows just how popular that car has been for the UK market. So make no mistake, this is a really big and really important car for the Nissan brand. So what we're going to do today, because it's an international press launch and because we're not in the UK, we're on some really lovely smooth Spanish roads, we're going to do a first impressions video, and then once we get some cars on the Nissan press fleet back in the UK, what we'll do is we'll get one and we'll do a proper UK based road test. So yeah, let's go, let's review the all new Nissan Juke.
Nissan say that the next generation Juke has grown up, but still carries the same sense of fun as the original. Looks are subjective, but to our eye the new car is far more attractive than the outgoing model, but is still recognisably a Juke. The new car is bigger in every area, with an increase in rear legroom of 5.8cm, an additional 1.1cm of headroom, and a boot which is approximately 20% bigger. Despite being a larger car, it's also 23 kilograms lighter and torsional rigidity has increased by 13%. There are now 5 trim levels to choose from, with prices starting from £17,395, and Nissan claim the Juke has the best residual values in its B SUV segment, with an increase of 11% over the old car.
So the new Nissan Juke from launch comes with a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. We've got outputs of 117 brake horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque on overboost. When you're driving along normally like this, you have 180 Newton meters of torque, but when you put your foot down and you want to get somewhere in a hurry or do an overtaking maneuver, you get the full 200 Newton meters. Performance 0 to 60 10.4 seconds. It's not a fast car, it's okay, you know, it does the job. We went up quite, you know, some really steep mountain roads earlier on and it got up them fine. So yeah, I think from a car of this size, which is primarily for transporting the kids around and being a family car, you know, it's a respectable amount of performance. First impressions in terms of the actual driving is that dynamically the package isn't that bad. A couple of days ago I went down to my local Nissan dealer and I drove the outgoing version of the Nissan Juke, and I walked away and I'll be honest, I wasn't very impressed. Okay, that's a 9-10-year-old car now, fair enough, but it's funny, you get into this and you appreciate how much of a big step forward Nissan have made with this all new model. And you know, if you find yourself on a twisting country lane, it changes direction keenly, the steering has a nice weight to it, the body control is really quite good as well. You know, it's not entertaining, it's not fun, there's some understeer in there, but you know, if the mood took you, it will do it, and it will do it sort of fairly competently. So as I said before, there's 2 gearbox options available. You've got a 6-speed manual, or you've got the one that we're using at the moment, a 7-speed DCT dual clutch transmission. Not driven the manual yet, we're going to do that a little bit later and I'll let you know what my thoughts are on the manual gearbox. But as far as this DCT gearbox is concerned, yeah, you know, it shuffles through the ratios quietly. You don't really notice it changing gear when you're on just a normal stretch of road like this. What I will say is we've got these 3 driving modes. So you've got Eco, which we're in now, you've got Standard, and you've got Sport, which I've just put it into. And when you're in Sport, the gearbox is always trying for a lower gear and automatically, you know, putting you down there in order to get, you know, some more performance. So if you're just cruising along, you can't really stay in Sport. You have to put it into one of the Standard or Eco modes. And actually Sport's quite good because your throttle response picks up as well. And sometimes when I'm driving along, I like to have that extra throttle response, but not necessarily have the gearbox sort of kicking in. So yeah, small markdown if you like there. And also the gear changes, when you want to take control and change with the paddles, it doesn't shift at all very quickly. So I think most people will probably opt for the manual anyway, but there is a DCT, a 7-speed DCT option available if you want it.
Later that day, we did test a car with the 6-speed manual, and in our opinion, it's the gearbox to go for. The shift is slick, if a little long, but with 6 ratios, you're able to make better use of the available torque, and overall, in-gear performance felt stronger as a result.
Follow the road for 20 kilometres.
Oh, the sat-nav's going to shut up for 20 kilometres, so I've got plenty of time to talk to you guys, which is good. And we're now on the Spanish equivalent of an A road, which is quite a good place actually, because I can talk to you about the overall refinement. First impressions are that refinement really has taken a step on from the old car. On a road like this is actually quite a nice place to spend time. There's a bit of road noise coming into the cabin, but not a huge amount. Wind noise is really at a minimal. Again, Spanish roads, I know they're not the best test of ride quality, but out here it does feel good, and it's just quite a relaxing place. You can really cover some decent distance in this car, which leads me quite nicely onto the interior. First thing I want to mention is this seat. This is super supportive. It holds you in all the right places. It's comfy. And we've got these Bose speakers in the headrest now, which look quite cool. I haven't tried them out yet, so I will later on and tell you how well they work. But yeah, the seat's comfortable. The driving position's good. There's lots of adjustment. So yeah, this is a nice place to spend time. Nice place to cover some decent mileage. So far, so good for the new Nissan Juke. Moving on to other aspects of the cabin, and Nissan have clearly worked hard to up the quality. So there's more space in here than there is in the old car, and the finish really is very good actually. We've got leather, lots of nice soft touch plastics. Okay, it's a Nissan. There's still scratchy bits here and there, but overall, certainly leaps and bounds ahead of the old car, which really was starting to show its age quite heavily in the latter stages of its production. And yeah, generally I'm quite impressed. They've done a lot with the infotainment and the sat nav. So we've now got this kind of floating screen in the middle, bit similar to the setup inside the Fords, which is no bad thing because they make great infotainment systems in cabins. And yeah, the touch screen, I've been using it a little bit, seems to work well. We've got manual buttons down here as well, just to give you some extra options in terms of control. So yeah, it's good. It's genuinely good. I don't think anybody buying this would complain about the quality of the interior.
In terms of onboard tech, the new Juke is the most advanced Nissan ever, with a plethora of driving and safety aids, including a clever feature called blind spot intervention, which recognises when a car is in your blind spot and guides you back into lane to prevent a collision. The car is also the most connected Nissan to date. You get an 8-inch touchscreen display which supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's in-car Wi-Fi, and the Bose speakers are now integrated into the headrest. Nissan also offer an app for your phone, which works together with Google Assistant to relay key information about the car, such as fuel levels, tyre pressures, or if you want to preload a route into the sat-nav.
Right, so final thoughts on my first impressions of this new Nissan Juke. In a nutshell, if you liked the old car, then you're going to like this one as well, simply put. The old car was popular. As I said, Nissan sold 1 million of those in the EU in the 9-10 years that it was around. And Nissan really created this compact SUV segment all on of its own, really. So yeah, if you like the old one, you'll like this one. You'll probably go and buy it. as I said, as you know, we'll reserve our absolute final opinion until we get one on UK roads, but the early signs are very good. Big step on from the old car. Would have been a bit embarrassing if Nissan didn't make a big step forward with it anyway. But yeah, big step on it compared to the old car, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it performs against its rivals. But you know, if you're looking for a compact family car that drives well and is affordable, then really there isn't really much to complain about here. So from Barcelona, thank you very much for joining us. See you on the next video.